Now for our final segment, our Woodland High School Athletic Awards for 2020-2021. But before we get started, there's a few people that I'd like to thank, starting with Julie Arndt. She tracked all of our multi-sport athletes and all of our all-league selections this year, which was a huge help to me. So thank you, Julie. And Melanie Holmes did so much of what you've seen in this presentation. She did a lot of the slides for me. With sports going all the way into June this year, things have been pretty crazy. So Melanie really stepped up and helped out. Can't tell you how much I appreciate her. And the Beaver Boosters have been amazing. They do so much, um, yet there's just a few of them that do all the work. And it's pretty amazing what they accomplish. Sherry Bowman leads the charge, and thank you so much for all you do, Sherry, and thank you so much to the rest of the boosters as well. Bell Studios has been great to work with this year. They've been so flexible with, you know, times for us to be able to shoot team pictures as well as retakes and just some things we needed. They've always been so great to work with. So thank you, Ben and the Bell crew. Janet Throne, Tommy King. A lot of the pictures that you've seen in this presentation were from them. They take amazing photos and they took a lot of pictures in sports other than the ones they were involved with. So it's very, very generous of them to do so. So thank you so much to both of you. And then for our senior athletes, I know these last 2 years haven't been everything you'd hope they'd be, but so happy that you guys were able to have 3 sports seasons this year, even if they were crammed into 5 months and it was total chaos. It was all worth it. And you guys were able to have um, legitimate competitions and at least get somewhat of a feel of a senior year in sports. So, really thankful for that and thankful for all that you guys have done and contributed to our school in both athletics and in our school community. So, thank you to all of you, and we wish you the best in the future. We also have some volunteers we'd like to thank. Jeff Chilson with football, Karen Huddleston with boys golf, Josh Bunger with girls basketball, Forbes Lapp and Mike Burns with boys basketball, Sam Yausman with girls golf, Jeff Chilson with wrestling, Tom Olmstead, Dave Martinowitz, Kevin Young, and Jeff Manser with baseball, Josh Bunger with fast pitch, and Bruce Flanagan with track. And I think that's everyone, but if I forgot someone, I'm so sorry. Really appreciate all that you have done to help our athletic program out. We really couldn't do what we do without you guys, so thanks so much. So the first award I'd like to talk about is the U.S. Army Reserve National Scholar Athlete Award, and this is a very prestigious award that goes to our top boy and girl athlete that perform at the highest level, both athletically and academically. It's uh, it's quite a feat to be the top of the list in both of those areas, and both of these kids definitely have done that. Starting with Jason Bowman, he finishes here with a 3.962 GPA, and in sports, he was first team all conference in both football and track. And then for the girls, Emma Sweat, 3.88 GPA, and was our league MVP and Gatorade Player of the Year in volleyball for the state of Washington. So well deserved to both of these kids. Nice work. And our next award is the U.S. Marines Distinguished Athlete Award, and this goes to 2 athletes that were not only leaders among their peers and just great all-around kids and citizens, but also have shown significant growth in the sports they compete in. And this year, we selected Kennedy Hughes for the girls and Judea Sanders for the boys. Congratulations to both of you. And now for our Scholar Athlete of the Year award. This is an award that goes to Woodland High School athletes that have found a way to balance both athletics and academics. Um, and to have the GPAs they have is pretty amazing considering all they do other than just hit the books. So, starting with Annika McCarty, 4.0 GPA, and she's going to be finishing her AA degree at Clark and then transferring to a university to study marine biology. Then Ruby Heigergen, also 4.0 GPA, will be attending the University of Washington to study astrophysics. And then Jason Bowman, 3.962 GPA. He's going to be attending Harvey Mudd University to pursue a degree in aerospace engineering and compete in track and field. Congratulations to all three of you. Well deserved. Now for the Rudy Award. And I love this quote because it says, "Do you want to know who your best teammates are? Watch how they react when someone else does something good." And if you've ever taken the time to look on the bench and see what's going on there, in a perfect world, everyone's cheering on everyone, but it's not always the case. And we know it's a tough role sometimes to be that person that doesn't get all the playing time, but is willing to put their team first and do whatever is asked of them by their coaches and their teammates. These two individuals are definitely well deserving of this award. Two kids that showed up every day, worked hard, always positive, and always willing to do whatever it took to help their team and put their team first. For the boys, it's Caden Jones, who's going to be going to Washington State University and majoring in biology while completing his pre-med coursework. And for the girls, it's Maddie Gossard. She's going to be attending a community college that's yet to be determined. Thank you both for all you've done for Woodland Athletics. And this is something new we've started this year that aligns with our core values of gratitude, respect, integrity, and team. It's called the Grit Award. And it basically goes to a boy and a girl that we feel best embodies what we're all about. You know, everything from character to just how gritty they are and their ability to persevere and be resilient and do whatever it takes to get the job done. And this year, the award goes to Raylia Trice for the girls. She's going to be attending Pacific Lutheran University and will play golf for the Lutes. And Emmanuel Cruz for the boys, who will be starting an internship and plans to be an automotive technician. Thank you both for all you've done for Woodland Athletics. Now it's time for our Athlete of the Year portion of the presentation. And we have 6 finalists that we're going to be recognizing, all very well deserving of this award. But before we start with that, I want to take a moment just to talk to you about what kind of things we can look at when we select an Athlete of the Year. Because there's so much more to being an athlete than just being physical. In Woodland, what we consider to be the whole athlete has everything you see here. And it's so much more, like I said, it's leadership qualities, it's a team first attitude, it's work ethic, the willingness to learn and be coached, the ability to hold yourself accountable, how well you do in the classroom, your participation in multiple sports. You can't be a single sport athlete and qualify for this award. Your athletic accomplishments over your career and your participation over the course of 4 years at Woodland High School. And then lastly, just being a positive role model and exhibiting class in and out of competition. So as you can see, this award is so much more than just your athletic accomplishments. That's one component. So we're looking at all these things, and it's never easy to choose one boy, one girl, but that's where we're heading. But before we get there, let's talk about our finalists, or not our finalists, our winners from last year. We had Nicole Guthrie, who won it for the girls, and Brooks Massey, who won it for the boys. And now for this year's finalists. Starting with Jason Bowman. And for each athlete, I'm going to read quotes from their coaches. I'm not going to read their accomplishments down the side. You can look at that while I'm reading. And I'm going to try to read fast, but not too fast, because as you can imagine, their coaches have a lot to say. So this is from head football coach Mike Woodward. Jason will go down as one of the most decorated and revered student athletes in the history of Woodland High School. He is one of only a small few over the last century who was a 4-year starter at the varsity level and an all-league player each season. Despite being a lineman hidden from the spotlight, he was still considered by many to be the best overall player in the entire GSHL his senior year. A truly humble and unselfish team player with relentless motor and master technician for 4 quarters in every game, he undoubtedly will be remembered more for earning every ounce of his accolades with his efforts in the weight room and practice field. He is that once-in-a-lifetime kid you want babysitting your own kids. He's the young man you want to marry your daughter. He's the person you want working for you, and in the future, the man you'll want to work for. His legacy will be talked about for years as an athlete, but more so as a man of character, compassion, and commitment that has inspired not only teammates but all of our students he has touched throughout his storied career at Woodland High School. And this from head track coach Melanie Holmes. Jason discovered a love for track and field that rivals my own, which is no small feat. During his time at Woodland High School, he has broken records, won a district championship, and a state medal. But he's also been a quiet leader, showing up every day, working hard, and helping wherever he is needed. His best event is probably the hammer throw, which you can't even compete in high school, so I'm very excited to watch him develop this in college. Jason continually challenged himself in high school, working hard every day on the field and in the classroom. He's made a positive impact on everyone around him, and I know he will continue that course in college. And that's Jason Bowman, everyone. Next up, we have Emerson Finn, and this is from her head soccer coach, Fred Jenkins. Emerson was an exceptional leader both on and off the field. She was voted All League all 4 years and was also a team captain and voted team MVP the past 2 seasons. She's a great player in person that any coach would love to have on their roster. I'm excited that she's playing at the next level at LCC next year and expect that she'll do great things. And then adds head basketball coach Glenn Flanagan. Emerson is very talented and very athletic. She has the ability to see the floor real well and is an amazing passer. She understands the game at a higher level, whereas most kids just play the game. We are very fortunate and blessed to have a person like Emerson in our program. She leads by example through her hard work and positive attitude. She was able to make the underclassmen feel loved, accepted, and appreciated. She has people skills that are way above the norm. And that's Emerson Finn, everyone. Next up is JJ Fierst. Head football coach Mike Woodward writes, JJ is one of the best all-around athletes I've ever coached and certainly the one with the biggest heart. He has an outstanding work ethic, plays hurt, and is one of the fiercest competitors you'll ever meet. He was our most explosive player on offense as an all-league quarterback his senior year, despite it being the first time he had ever played the position. Aside from his tremendous feats on the field over the last 4 years, what he has done as a role model, friend, and leader off the field surpasses those accomplishments because of his inspiring impact he has had on so many people across our campus and community. He is living proof that stature is a myth and has more than validated the long-standing belief that it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. He has been a dream to coach, and his positive energy and charisma will be sorely missed by every single past and present member of the Woodland football community. And this from head soccer coach Tommy King. JJ is the athlete every coach hopes they get on their team. Show up, work hard, never an excuse, but also has fun. His technical ability is there, but what shines through for JJ is how he absorbs coaching and puts it into action. He is as good a person as he is an athlete, and it was an honor to have coached him. That's JJ Fierst, everyone. Next up is Lucy George. This from head volleyball coach Danielle Hutton. Lucy is an incredibly strong athlete who is competitive, driven, and puts in the work to be the best she can be in any and every sport. In volleyball specifically, her strength really showed in the power of her serves and swings. Everyone knows how hard she can hit, and no one wants to be on the receiving end of those swings. And although volleyball may not be her number one sport, you never would have guessed it. She improved so much over her 2 years with us. Her team voted her most improved, and she also earned All-League honorable mention. We are thankful to have had Lucy in our program and are excited for her future at GCU. Adds head basketball coach Glenn Flanagan. Lucy is one of the most athletic girls to ever attend Woodland High School. She is one of the most committed and focused athletes when it comes to reaching her goals in track and field. I was excited that she also chose to play basketball. She is She quickly has become a very good basketball player, which is her third favorite sport. Lucy transferred to Woodland 2 years ago. She adapted to her new environment and found the balance between reaching for and accomplishing her own dreams, but all the while valuing those people around her. Life is about how we adapt and thrive when obstacles are thrown our way, and Lucy has done this and excelled. Then writes head track coach Melanie Holmes. Lucy is among the most talented track and field athletes I have ever coached. She's dedicated to her craft and works hard every day to be the best she can be. Being a three-sport athlete is challenging, but she excelled. She holds herself to a standard of excellence in all of her events. I'm so glad that we got to see Lucy compete in a Beaver uniform before she graduated, and I'm excited to see what she can do in college when she's able to focus on just a single sport. That's Lucy George, everyone. Now for Gage Pilot. Head coach Aaron Blackwelder writes, Gage is the athlete every coach wants to have on their team. He is dedicated and passionate about his own personal growth. He is a team-minded he is team-minded and willing to do whatever is necessary to benefit everyone, and this is why I've relied on him as a captain of the boys golf team over the past 3 years. I've had the pleasure of having Gage on my team since middle school. I've watched him grow from a bright-eyed 12-year-old into a man who is respected by his peers, his coaches, his competitors, and other coaches throughout the league. Gage is a gentleman and constantly exhibits the values of our athletic program, especially the values and etiquette of golf. He always keeps his demeanor despite his performance and never gives up when the stakes are stacked against him. He looks for possibility when others feel like giving up. I'm proud of Gage and his accomplishments. I know he is going to go into the world and accomplish so much more because he sees the value in himself and knows the impact he can make. And this from head wrestling coach Brandon Pilot. Gage Pilot embodies every component of an athlete that both coaches and teammates desire but opponents fear. He is hardworking, shows determination and grit with an unstoppable mentality. He always goes above and beyond in every sport that he competes in. He is a natural leader on the course, field, or mat. Teammates look toward him for guidance, and coaches count on him to set the pace and set an example. And this from head soccer coach Tommy King. From day one of meeting Gage, I knew he would have a major impact on our sport. He's an all-around leader, leading by example, never complaining, and just getting it done. Across multiple sports, he has had similar impacts. He will go on to do big things in whatever he chooses to do in life. And that's Gage Pilot, everyone. And finally, we have Kennedy Hughes. This from head volleyball coach Danielle Hutton. Kennedy is a dedicated athlete who continued to improve every year on the volleyball court. She always took every bit of feedback from her coaches and applied it every day, in every practice, in every game, and it showed. She played a big role in our team's success, received first team all league honors this year, and also led the team in stuffed solo blocks, finishing the season with 31. Kennedy has been an amazing middle blocker for us and is just an all around great human being. We will miss her so much. Writes head basketball coach Glenn Flanagan. Kennedy has been a rock in our program for 4 years. She found the balance between making herself better all the while putting the team's needs and goals before hers. This doesn't happen by accident. She daily strives to make others feel loved and welcomed wherever she is, regardless of who they are. Kennedy is coachable, hardworking, and talented. She's a girl that makes the team better, not only with her basketball skills, but also her people skills. And adds head track coach Melanie Holmes. Kennedy is a stealth athlete. She isn't flashy, but she shows up every day and works her tail off to better herself. Kennedy flies under the radar, but she's a fierce competitor. She's a mentor to others, and I can always count on her to help out when I need someone to show people the ropes. Kennedy has been a contributor to 3 varsity sports while at Woodland High School, both on the court and field, but also as a teammate behind the scenes, making those around her better. And that's Kennedy Hughes, everyone. Now for your 2021 Woodland High School Athletes of the Year. Our male athlete of the year is Gage Pilot. Congratulations, Gage. And our female athlete of the year is Kennedy Hughes. Congratulations, Kennedy. Thanks for a great year, everyone, and we look forward to seeing you all in the fall. Next year starts now, so get to work. Let's get something done.